Hello everybody and welcome back to G for G Games for Gamers. Today we're here in Marvel Avengers Alliance and we are doing a PvP Season 17 wrap-up. So, we're going to go ahead and spend a little bit of time discussing some teams that worked, some teams that we saw on defense, the rewards, and talk a little bit about what we've got going today for Monday in terms of the daily mission. The daily mission is an easy one. Monday's daily mission basically was anything goes. It is completely unrestricted, and the spinner for it is basically all EISOs, including some expensive gold ones, some character specific ones. However, there is one item on there that is not an EISO, and honestly that's what I keep getting. I've 4.5 starred this, and I still keep basically getting the one item. So you know, some things like you have the savory, which I actually already have, the analyzing, which I think I already have. I don't have the cleansing. I think I have, yeah, I have a few skull thumpers. I definitely have snappy service, but I don't have a heavy blows. So today's background soundtrack is brought to you by the Shadows of Mordor OST. I've got it up and running today in honor of the newest Hobbit movie that will be coming out Wednesday of this week. So PvP Season 17 ended today, and it ended at a slightly unusual time in that they bumped it up to about 4 o'clock Eastern Time, which is down from its normal 8 or 9 o'clock EST. And, you know, what did we see today? Well, we saw that, once again, the servers were absolute trash. I woke up this morning, collected my rewards from the Jets overnight, told it to do 20 minutes, was going to get into work, remote in, do my PvP and everything like that. And sure enough, once I got into work, it was just crashing like crazy, constantly getting, you know, refreshing. If we look at my battle reports here for the last day, if you note the loss to Tyrannicus and Kudo, I didn't actually play those matches. I tried to, and it refreshed before it even showed me the PvP opponents, and yet it considered it a loss for me, which I think is absolute garbage because I didn't even get to see. I mean, it was just the loading spinny wheel. But as you can see, I lost down the ladder on those, but obviously it was doing good down the home stretch here. Went 5 and out for ones I actually competed in. Got a win right there at the end on defense. And, you know, a defensive loss or two there. But I should have been plus 1,800 without those, you know, crazy losses over there. But, hey, I got my first legitimate ADA finish since the Angel debacle, and the Rocket Raccoon will give you a bump up season. So that, of course, was really, really nice. So I got the full rewards. Got the gold, got the silver, got the command points, got the item, and got the hero. So let's just say the Rune of Resolve, the item is kind of meh. We'll go over that, but first we'll look at Karnak. I've got him at level 3. He just recently trained up to that from level 2. We don't really need to talk about him that much. I've done a video on him. He is a scrapper. He's a fantastic scrapper. That 6th Sense seems to proc a lot. I was running him with Molly and even with Thane, and he had a pretty good streak there where he was jumping in on a lot of attacks, even when it wasn't Thane in the group. Molly's down here. She's training to be level 8, which is cool. She's getting close to her level 9. She's a lot of fun. And she actually comes into play with the reward item from this season. Here for Karnak, obviously you're not going to dump anything into accuracy whatsoever because he always hits and he always crits. And that is a little unusual for an always hits person. Usually you still have to dump in accuracy for the crits. But that is not true for Karnak of the Coneheads over here. Basically, you're going to want to ISO him for, in terms of the PKB method, the Pot Kettle Black method from the Marvel Avengers Alliance wiki. you're going to want to go for health, attack, and evasion. Now, the points that you don't have to spend in accuracy, you can go ahead and dump it in defense, or you can just split it amongst other things. But if you want to 5-bar him and the others, which shouldn't be too hard, you can certainly go ahead and take the missing accuracy points and put it into defense, or, you know, continue to buff his attack. He seems pretty peppy so far. I have a stress point perception. It does say that it starts cooldown, but it's not Beast's cooldown. It is more like, but who is it that's got the 1 round cooldown over there? Hogun's AoE flanked is what it reminds me of. It's after 1 turn, it's available. So you can't do it on the first turn, but on the second turn, you can. And, you know, he counters with Fractured Flaw, so he's constantly creating a disadvantage, which is great because it means it can shut people down before they go. I like running him with Molly because he can take away the crits from blasters, and it makes it a little easier for her to tank. I do like that. The one thing is, though, for Karnak, you wouldn't need a Dragon's Foot with him because he always hits and crits. But for Molly, it's not bad to run that. So, you know, it's up to you if you want to do an agent slot in putting the Dragon's Foot. Honestly, Karnak's best team up is going to be Gorgon. That's really who you should pair him up with. It's, you know, it's a lot of heavy hitting. And if you put the Erupting on his Dance of Death, you're going to hit flyers. And then if you put the Pressure Point 1 on Field of Thunder and walk all over you, and you put a Pressure Point 1 on Fracture Flaw, you are set up for a tremendous amount of Paragon exploitation. They both do it. You would kind of want to run the Dragon's Foot here for Gorgon to help him out. But again, because of Karnak, you'd only be applying it to yourself and maybe the agent. So, you know, that's up to you. You may want to do something that just simply focuses on pressure points. So over here on my agent, I was using the rune. It should be around here somewhere. There it is, the Rune of Resolve. It is buff and it is magic, so it is a quick action if you are running Snappy Service. You can use it while you're stunned, similar to an Iron Fist ability, but you will still be stunned. You resist radiation exposure and you're covered if you are stunned at the time that you use it, so you wouldn't want to run the stun immunity ISO. The Rune of Resolve applies its resist radiation covered and a shield to everybody. Now, this item isn't really that good, but it is good if you have a tank in the group. If you have somebody that is stepping in and taking hits, like a Blade of the Guardian agent, like Molly during her tantrum, you know, Groot. This is really where I'm thinking this is going to be good. Somebody like Groot, this may be really good. I wouldn't recommend this on defense because you honestly have no idea who it's going to get aimed at, and you may wind up using it when Snappy Service is not available. So that would be a waste of a turn. But on offense, if you're running a really slow down offense like Rescue an Invisible Woman, like Groot and Gamora or something like that, you can use this every turn and give it to your tank. And if you're running a Guardians group and you use the Guardians Insignia and this, you know, 80% combat training, 50%, I mean, Groot might take like next to no damage whatsoever. And especially if you're running the Generalist one and you don't have to worry about blasters, you may have a phenomenally defensive setup over here. I think the resist radiation is a hint of things to come. I really feel like it's hinting at something similar to the way the Beyond Corp can opener came out right before the Spec Ops, in which everything was robotic, the arcade one. I do believe we're going to be facing something here with gamma radiation. I wanted that weapon really, really bad that PvP season. It was when I still wasn't really that good at PvP, and I was going for Diamond for the weapon, and, you know, wound up finishing with just gold, so I just had like barely missed. I dropped down in that last day rush. We also have the suit, which is a scrapper. Where's my scrapper fist suit? Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't seem to have my scrapper suit over here. Well, that's very, very interesting. I clearly, obviously have all the rewards. I have Karnak and I have the rune. So it seems to be skipping an item in between the two over here. That's a little on the unfun side over there. So as you can see here, I have my Infiltrator Safeguard suit, but I'm missing the Scrapper one that I just got today, but several hours ago. Well, as you can see, I have my Tactical one, I have the Blaster one on that, I have the Bruiser one, and then I have in the Fist generation, I have the Infiltrator, but I do not seem to have today's Scrapper one. That might be worth a ticket over here. I'll have to check the forums and see what's going on, see why I don't have my suit. Let me see if I pull up the team from here and make sure the PvP downranking isn't messing it up. Yeah, Molly Hayes is a lot of fun. I enjoy playing with her, and yeah, it's definitely not here. God, I used that Bruiser suit for a long time. Alright, well, I guess it's ticket time. So what did I see? How did I wind up with? What did I do? Well, all season it was Angel, and it was Psylocke. Their uncanny X-Force suits. The neuropurge made an appearance about halfway through the season when I was seeing a lot of Iron Fist, and it took the place of the AoE flanked book, the Grimoire. But down the stretch, I considered taking it out because I wasn't seeing as much Iron Fist anymore, and maybe wanted the punch of having flanked, especially on a Beast or a Gamora that I wanted to get out early. But I stuck with the neuropurge, and it came in handy. The occasional despair was really good. I didn't care about the remove buffs. I had nanoplague. So if I saw Gamora, she was my #1 target. If I saw a Beast, he was my #1 target. If they were both on the same team, that got a little confusing. Honestly, I think I still went for Gamora at that point because I don't like despair. There's a certain routine that I was doing on offense, and using Light Fantastic as soon as it was up was a big key. But if despair was out, I would hold off on it. Even if I had a lot of debuffs, usually it was not worth it if despair was on me. And they both had fatal blows on their level 4s over here, so if somebody got weak, they just pick them off. If it was a well-rooted Groot group, I just use straight up damage or use despair from Angel and then would go for the kill. Here on defense, about halfway through the season, I really douched out and went with a very, very douchey setup over here. The one saving grace is that my hotshot is very old now at this point. As you can see, it's ranked at 43. I took away the uncanny Cyclops over here, setting up for the flank and the incapacitation, and I just, went with the 14 Red Hulk, and he's got snappy service, so on non-stealthy people, he was bulwarking every turn, and that was draining a lot of energy and stamina. He was using his E-ISO, the Meltdown one. He's using his A-ISO, Boom Shakalaka. And, actually, no, I just kind of said the same thing twice. Yeah, he's using his one on the Gamma Bomb that generates the massive heat, and he's using the 40% heat one. He is also has some special A-ISOs over here that really made him douchey, is that he has bleeding over here, so that's just another debuff. Bunker Buster is an increased chance to hit. Bulwark, there's his personal, and Gamma Bomb. Gamma Bomb is the personal. Bulwark would apply Epiphany, so he was applying crits to himself every single turn that he was applying this. That's pretty cool over here. And, you know, Beast was there to seal in the debuffs and everything, at least until he died. He started with the Savant. His personal is trash. He has pressure points over here, and he has an increased chance to hit on Jekyll and Hyde. So Thorny is what would show on the agent, and that would hide a lot of the debuffs that I had on me, so it should have hidden a lot of my gear. Because Thorny applies poison and burning, you wouldn't necessarily know I was using the signpost, and you wouldn't necessarily know I was using the hotshot until it was too late. The cube, obviously they would see reality hacking, but, you know, at least I didn't have too many tech abilities, and if tech was locked out, I still would have the Thorny every round, I would still have the signpost every round, and, you know, obviously every other round the hotshot with the big stun and everything. So, yeah, the team really got it done. They really kept my offense in there, made sure I didn't lose too drastically. So, down the stretch, you know, Iron Fist, I think, faded out. I didn't see a lot of Quicklocke groups this season. I saw some, including a few groups where I would mystic the agent, the debuff would go on him, but Cosmic Cardinal was still hitting me. And that needs to be a ticket, because, I mean, if tech is locked out, a tech jump-in attack or, like, counterattack obviously should follow suit, but it didn't, which I think is garbage. That is a tactical decision to hit a Cosmic Cardinal user with the Mystic if you have it, and the fact that it doesn't shut that out is crap. Mark of the Brotherhood, still bugged. If my agent goes first in combat, I cannot use it as a quick action. You know, saw a lot of Pestilence Red Hulk teams, a lot of those, saw a lot of Gamora Groot teams, saw variations of them, some with Star-Lord, some with Big O Megaduce Star-Lord, some with the movie one, some with Bellhop Groot, some with movie Groot. It really was kind of getting a little dull at the higher ranks there, because it basically was like Red Hulk and Pestilence and a Guardians team every time. They really were not an issue because Nanoplague made sure the badge wouldn't go out. And, you know, on the Red Hulk teams, he couldn't gain Bulwark because of the Nanoplague. And, you know, just single target Pestilence down and single target Gamora down, it was usually not an issue. If I saw Iron Fist, and hopefully the turn order was in my favor, once somebody got low, I just hit him with Despair, and he would waste a turn doing the healing chi. He never used his big level 9 and then comboed it with anything. I mean, if Iron Fist AI was smarter and used that and then healing chi, I mean, there would go the debuffs, or he'd have like a Superman punch on somebody. But, you know, other than that, it was like Mystic the Agent, unless I was going for single target, get out Nanoplague, and single target the high priority guys. So I'm really, really happy how I wound up this season, and I was amazed that when I broke into the 1600s and kept going up and up, and every day I was like, man, I gotta take a screenshot. It's my highest rank. Oh, wait, no, it's my highest. Oh my god, it's my highest rank. Nope, it's my highest rank now. So, yeah, I hope everybody got what they wanted out of PvP Season 17. Hopefully the suit will show up. If you had issues playing from this morning up until close, I definitely would suggest submitting a ticket. Hey, maybe they'll do what they did in the Rocket Raccoon season and, you know, bump everybody up. I think it's deserved. If you were, you know, being forced out of the game and losing PvP combat because of that, I don't think that's fair, and I could see how that would screw people over. So, hope you enjoyed PvP Season 17, people. Take care.